Alright, assume everything is working properly. I am streaming. Maybe. Don't update. Let's see, I have OBS Studio open, so I need to enable a desk capture of some sort. How about display capture so you can just see what I'm doing when I'm doing it, right? I'm assuming you see that. Alright, so cancel that, close that, make that bigger. Oh, neat. Oh, that was with a question. Oh, I can close this page. How cool. So does that mean that it actually started streaming? My channel. If it worked, this is the microphone that I'm using. And that camera should be working. Oh look, I see something. I got chat, so I'm gonna close that. I don't do that in real life. Channel. Okay, so if it works, this is the microphone, I guess. That's good. That's my GIMP. Oh look, I see something. I need to mute that so I don't get feedback, right? I'm trying to learn this OBS stuff so I can set it up and stream, because I've done it before, but I'm back to doing it kind of new again. But I need to go back to OBS. I want to change. Where's my OBS? Is this it? No. There it is. I want that to be bigger, and I want, should have just gone okay with that, but then let's turn that off. Okay, cool. So, there's some sort of lag, but part of the purpose of this was I started using this, and I did record with this, and then I realized it'd be easier to just use that one, which is a USB 3.0 camera. I originally bought it, had some issues with it. This is a cheap USB microphone. This is inexpensive but not cheap. This is a Zoom H2N. It's got a stereo condenser microphone on the top. It's got really good camera quality. It's got audio in and out. It's got a connector there for battery. It's also got a connector for an HDMI display and a volume for the microphone on the top. This is actually a tiny version with a camera of something like this, which is the Zoom H6N. I think it's a podcaster's recorder. It has digital recording. It has the stereo microphone designed for recording like live bands and performances indoors or outdoors or whatever. This is normally, I use this, as you can see, as a podcasting camera because it has a good microphone, but I generally will use these other microphones. This, on the other hand, allows a connector for this microphone, which has an on-off switch, which allows you to use this and this while doing podcasts and or live interviews. Sorry for the bad camera angles and such. But these two, this, you can take the audio out of this directly, that little red thing, send it into this as a channel and use them both, while using this as a multi-track recorder, meaning that you will record the audio from the top of this as well as the audio from the top of this as well as the microphone and anything else you might connect to it. So those are must-need tools, and most importantly, no matter what you have, this is a windscreen. Podcasters, please learn this. This is the windscreen. It's like this because it slows the wind down, so when it hits it, Same as this. This is a pop filter. This is essentially one of these, but wrapped around the microphone. That's all this little foam filter is meant to do. However, as a musician, as a performer, I can tell you that it's kind of common that people who use a microphone will get used to a certain reality of it. In today's podcasting, something like this, as the Joe Rogan podcast would say, about a fist from your mouth, isn't a bad level. This, you can see, is kind of stuck at that level. So I'm going to stick this one at that level. So essentially, they're picking up the same thing. And since I connected the rock band, I need to create an audio input for him. Put capture, whatever. Logitech microphone. Pretty sure that's this one. Yes, you can see how loud it gets. Now, in a certain situation here, you can see that there's a combination of those two. And were I to connect this one, or this one, you're going to get those inputs as well, depending on how that signal path is routed. But it's also kind of a little insight to a studio setup. And when I say I'm retired, I mean I used to be a professional sound engineer, and then that's all wrong. And then I moved to Denver and started working as a union in stagehand. And if you don't know the difference between a professional stagehand and a union stagehand, you're probably perfect for the union. That being said, I have a disability, a condition called degenerative disc disease. I have no idea why they call it a disease when the disease is defined as a condition. But nonetheless, I don't feel diseased. I just feel sometimes my hands or my feet don't want to work the way I want them to. And long story short, I was forced to retire, which it was the weirdest, strangest, God-looking out for me coincidences, because I retired at the end of 2019, my last gigs being early 2020, and then April 20th, COVID happened, and all of the stagehand jobs were crushed with the COVID lockdowns. So yeah, but I guess I've been streaming this, and I'm gonna not, because I don't really care about this in this situation. It's just nice that it's set up. And what I was trying to say about performers is sometimes I get used to the feel in the microphone. And although you couldn't tell, I still will control and read the levels as to be aware of how loud I'm speaking. And if I know that I'm going to speak loud, I try to back up. This mic, other mics are a lot better at picking up those variances, meaning that I could go at little bitty different levels, and the sound wouldn't change all that much to you. You can see that from here, this distance to the microphone is about the same level, and if I continue to speak that same about level, you get about the same thing. They're designed with that intention, whereas if I were to use this type of microphone, which is called a dynamic microphone, and if I put it out here, you're not going to hardly hear anything that I say. If I get it right up here, you're going to hear it. Also, this is a wind protector. This inside has that windscreen in it. This is a foam. It's for spit. It's for wind. It's for breeze a bit. This is for high level wind. I don't want anybody spitting on this mic. So that's not for facial use. These, you can wash them, you can replace them. It's kind of a standard. Sound guy's gonna have a bunch of those in his rig. So that's the cool beginning, and I'm just going along here because it's how I roll, as they say. Oh, I'm wearing that shirt, aren't I? I forgot about that. I don't do a whole lot of this rolling business as of late, to be real honest. I found this in a moving box besides the dumpster, and I usually don't grab stuff at the dumpster, but I found that, and I'm like, oh dude, that's cool, because I've just been thinking that I didn't have any kind of utensil. I got this thing, this little cigarette one hitter, which I use because it's conservative. Obviously these days you don't have to worry about it looking like a cigarette anymore. That's almost worse, really. I still roll my own cigarettes, obviously, and when people see me walking, most of the time anymore, they treat me as if they could smell it, and they smell weed. If you get mad because you smell tobacco instead of weed, you're probably not gonna be that mad. You know what I mean? But if you just assume that the weed, because the whole reason that I did this was because when I did this, people couldn't tell the difference. And my dad always taught me, if you smoke it like a cigarette, people will think it's a cigarette. Since people who don't like smokers usually don't get close enough to smell, what's the difference? So yeah, oh crap, I'm not down there anymore. I'm getting back to used to doing this because I'm ADD, and I'm aware that when I have a notion to do something, when I have the what the hell is this? Go ahead and install the updates. I'm so used to that camera. You can't. See, my dyslexia, I don't even know which direction. When I, as a stagehand, my stage lefts and rights and fronts and backs were a challenge, to say the least. But yeah, I'm getting back into this because I want to get more into this to help this cat that I met. And I realized that there's lots of stuff that I actually have experience and or knowledge about that I could contribute to the team. I'm not an athlete per se, although most of my life I've been athletic. I mean, as a professional stagehand, it's a very demanding and physical job, which I think constitutes the primary physical needs of athleticism, as well as like being coordinated and stuff. And my face looks all gacky and shit. What's that? It doesn't look that funky in the mirror. But then again, I don't look at the mirror very much either. So, how about we shrink this down and get me out of there? Oop, that's not the right zoink. I want the zoink that. Yeah. So, yeah, I got the browser dealie. Where's that thing go? Audio capture, input, display capture. Okay, I want to see that. But I want to display. I want to capture the display. oops, of a web page. I just do that, and I just add a new something. Window capture, right? Okay, I want Firefox. Yeah, Firefox. Okay. So, do I now see my Firefox? Janky, janky, janky. If we do see it, then we see my article. That looks like my article. And we have the first part. It was essentially the summary of my article by Gemini, and then my article. And as I say, I'm not a real writer or even a fake sports writer. I'm just a monkey who sees stuff and wonders why others seem to miss that almost overtly obvious points. I mean, yeah, I don't know, but stupid is as stupid does. I ended up creating this image because I couldn't get Gemini to just do something simple like just put through this. It gave me these other cool hands. Like it gave me this one. Where's it at? No, it's not it. Oh, dude. Okay. That's part of my issue, and why I can't really podcast is because I'm stuck on Wi-Fi. So I'm just gonna end